Welcome back to Gatabud. Today we are going to acquire and 4-star the stealth armor, and then as a bonus, because this is actually a pretty simple process, we are going to acquire a Pristine Eightfold Blade, and I'm going to show you how to do over 1,000 damage. Now, why do you want to 4-star this? The goal of using the stealth armor is to not get hit, but things happen. And having large defense numbers are a good way to mitigate your risk. Also, you can 4-star the set without doing any battles whatsoever because it's all item collecting on the map. The worst case scenario, you're going to have to go to 3 locations for one of the things we have to do. But that's right, you can even get 30 Sundelions in 2 locations. So I hope you find this helpful. Let's get into it. Our first stop is the Hateno General Store. You need some fresh milk. And you need some Hylian rice. If you do not have a Hyrule herb in your inventory, it is a short flight from the Hateno General Store right here. You can grab one, just don't get grabbed by the gloom hands. If you do not have a Sundelion, go to the sky and grab one on whatever island you have unlocked. In Kakariko Village, at this location, there is a lady with a sick grandmother, and if you cook her some porridge, then it will lower the price at the store. So you need to do Hyrule herb, and then Sundelion, and then fresh milk, and Hylian rice. Cook it together, and then you can talk to her and give her the porridge. After a brief cutscene, you can go to the store, and now you can purchase the stealth armor set for a very reasonable price. Now, before we even depart Kakariko Village, we are going to rest by the campfire next to the store we just exited. And you're already going to see an upgrade requirement right here. We've got some sunset fireflies just chilling here. So you need to take advantage of grabbing some of them because you can mess up in the real location. And that'll just give you a little wiggle room on hitting the magic number. Also, if you have the Pura sensor unlocked, you should totally take a picture and target them on your sensor. That makes this process a lot easier too. You might also notice this thing glowing right here. This is another thing you want to take a picture of and grab. This is another upgrade requirement, the sneaky River Snail. So, get those, and then we're going to do one more thing before we leave the village. If you have not previously acquired an Eightfold Blade, you need to go to the Kakariko Village well. When you drop down, you're going to see a maze right here. If you kind of just go this way, you'll find a treasure chest with one in it. And this is really helpful later to maximize the potential of this armor set. You can either keep the weapon, but at a minimum you need to break it like this. This is one of the easiest sets in the game to upgrade as far as I'm concerned. You can do this fresh off the Great Sky Island without engaging in any combat whatsoever. The worst thing to gather, believe it or not, is the sneaky River Snail. I couldn't find many places that had like 10 or 15. I found several that have 5, so you have to go to 3 spots for that. But even the Sundelions I was able to do in 2 spots. I identified some really great places. And then the Stealthfin Trout, I've only been able to find one place that has them, period. And you can get about 20. So you want to do that one first and then come back later. But other than that, this is a ridiculously easy thing to accomplish. The one caveat on Sticky Frog, that's easy if you want to throw money at it from Beetle. There's 2 beetles that sell Sticky Frogs. So worst case, you spend 600 rupees, but I found enough Sticky Frogs to get at least 10 in the map. So you should only have to spend about 200 rupees to top yourself off on that. So without further ado, I strongly recommend you just go ahead and knock this one out early in the game. It will pay dividends. Before we get started, I want to point out that the Korok Forest has 2 really, really good spots, and you can totally take advantage of them. But if you have not completed the main story quest in the Korok Forest, this is what happens when you try to exit. So for those reasons, I'm going to primarily focus on alternate locations. If you do, however, have the forest completed, there is a path of silent shrooms that take you all the way to Lake Saria, and the path is lit by blue nightshades along this path. So those are both very solid options. You'll also find silent princesses along this nice triangle thing. I wonder what that's for. Now, before I actually get started on Stealthfin Trout, I'm going to unlock a Yiga schematic, actually at Elma Knoll's Chasm. And this is going to take no time at all, because it's right here. That beam turret can definitely get you in the air, though. This is the fishing trawler. Now this is what you definitely want to do first, the Stealthfin Trout. And I am right outside the Korok Forest, overlooking the southern part of the moat. And as far as I can tell, I'm only seeing them in this south part. But there are 5 static spawns of Stealthfin Trout, and then about 12 to 15 random spawns on top of that in this. Now, what's the difference? I have Stealthfin on my Pura sensor, but I don't see anything when I look this way. If I start to fly closer, those trout appear that was making my sensor go off. Now I'm going to go ahead and shoot some shock into the water. And there's 2 more over here. Those are the 5 static spawns, and that's where we're going to start. Now, what's the difference? I go over this in my spawn mechanics video in depth, but the TLDR is a random spawn will not make your Pura sensor go off until it is actively spawned. And additionally, there's a high probability that it won't spawn if you're in what I like to call a crowded area. So if there's a lot going on there, the game, to ensure performance, will throttle things and keep things from spawning to maintain performance. So I want to build that new auto build. There we go. Now this thing's moving. I did a trial run with this thing and it's effective, but it's slow. So what you want to do is zigzag through this river. And if you see any fish over here, you want to get out and pick them up. All right, see how the sensor started going off once they spawned? Now, you're going to want to quickly get out of that area because the forest can make you, like, disappear. Those are kind of far out, so I want to use Ultra Hand to grab them. There we go. Once they are dead, you can safely get them. Now I'm going to carry on. And I just want to constantly zigzag like this because it's important that other things exit your spawn radius to make room for new things to spawn. And this better ensures that you will find something that can spawn. So there's quite a bit right there. I think we just got 4 here. That's nice. I haven't seen a group of 4 before, so that leads me to believe that... oh, look, and there's some back there, too. So I need to go back. I think one just swam underneath me, and I missed it. Which, that's okay. Things happen. So, yeah, make sure you pick up the other fish to make room for new fish to spawn. That's how random spawns work. So, that's not a Stealthfin, but I want it out of there. That's a Mighty Carp. Still pretty useful fish. So yeah, you're going to find Mighty Carp and Stamina Loca Bass in here. I'll grab that Mighty Carp as well. You see how one just appeared right there? Now I'm going to have to toss a shock thing, because I'm not going to start driving again. That's fine, I'll take damage. I think I can grab these safely without getting respawned. So I'm seeing groups of 4 as random spawns. Sometimes groups of 3. And that's the thing about random spawns. There's not like... There probably are set locations for these, but there's probably a very large amount, and it's really hard to make sense of that. So there's a pretty good chance that once I get to the end of this, if I start heading back in the opposite direction, then I might see something that I didn't see earlier. I'd say spend about 10 to 15 minutes on this, but then once you hit around the 20 trout mark and you start seeing nothing, it's time to go and do something else. I personally got about 24 on this run. I've started with about 19 already from my due diligence on this video. And by the time that you do everything else and come back, you should be able to get the rest of them no problem. One of the best places to get blue Nightshade is on East Hill, north of Kakariko Village. There is almost enough for you to finish this immediately. And there's also a couple of silent princesses here. Immediately south of Satori Mountain, we have the lake from my climbing video, Rutile Lake. And you will finish off your blue Nightshade here. You will likely finish off your silent princesses here. And then, as a bonus, you're going to start finding sneaky river snails and sunset fireflies and shrooms all in one place. This is an excellent location for all of your needs. But there's one issue where it falls short on the sunset fireflies. You have to go out over water. And there's not really a good way to collect these flies. Chances are if you make some sort of boat or something, it's going to scare them off and they're going to fly away. But you can swim around and just kind of wait for them to come back down. But it's a little annoying. So for those reasons, you might run out of fireflies here, and I'm going to show you one other location next where you can get more. But I would highly recommend before leaving here, set your Pura sensor to Sneaky River Snail, and make sure you get every single one of them before leaving this area. If you had trouble getting the sunset fireflies at the lake, then head to Farron. This road from here to here is just littered with sunset fireflies. They're everywhere. You can probably walk away with like 50 from this place. I'm not kidding. A short flight from the Rubella Wetlands Skyview Tower to the Mount Floria Cave, we have Silent Shroom Heaven right here. You want to go to the cave entrance and go ahead and snap a pic of this first one. And then set your Pura sensor to it and start descending this waterfall. And you will have about 20 after finishing that part. 21 if you grabbed that, but it doesn't matter. Once you're done, head into these woods right here, and there's a bunch more. And you will easily get above the 24 magic number on Silent Shrooms. Right outside Kakariko Village, right about here, you want to snap a pic of this sticky frog and make sure you're in your stealth armor. And then change your Pura sensor to sticky frog. And we are going to head east along this road, letting our sensor guide the way. And you're probably going to mess some up like I just did. They, because you have to climb walls to get to them, you can, if you really wanted to, you could do that to ensure that you get it. But you will burn a lot of resources doing that, and I don't think it's worth it, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Now just run through the village, and then you're going to start getting hits again, like right when you exit. I bet that makes a slip right there. Now, I'm not sure how many I started with, to be honest, but I think I got around 10 there, give or take. I probably had about 3 already. The second location to go to is, there's a couple here at the Zora Tower. Let's just go up. Okay. Oh, I see it. Alright, now you probably have a few left to get. I made a vendor list of everything in the game, and there are 2 beetles that sell sticky frogs. One at the Lakeside Stable and one at East Akela Stable. What you need to do is, however many you need left, you need to go to those stables, buy them from Beetle, and if you're still short, you need to go sleep overnight at a location other than those 2 stables and keep going back till you get them, and then you will have all the frogs that you need. This is the perfect thing to throw money at. It's a little bit on the pricey side at 40 per, but honestly, with as easy it is to kill stone taluses and get lots of money that way, it's totally worth it. So if you need a refresher on stone taluses, click the link up there. I found a great Sundelion spot near the Kadowner Shrine in the South Elden sky. You want to go to the shrine and fly down to the start of the little minecart ride that you take to the top. And you're going to get gifted with a minecart that you can use. But yeah, you're just going to pick up all the Sundelions that your sensor picks up. And my sensor keeps dinging, but I think it's on one of the things down there, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't even see the other island on the map. That's sweet. That's not what this video is about, but you can find that there. It can take a little time to move from part to part on this island, but the sheer density in which we're seeing Sundelions is very, very uncommon. Usually we'll only see like a couple per island. I'm not going back down because I gotta show you all multiple spots. And then there is this island kind of hiding down here. Yeah, this island has some too. I have trouble seeing the Sundelion sometimes. I feel like they just blend in with everything. That's why the sensor is so helpful. There's one right there. And that should do it. Okay. The sensor's no longer going off. I started with 16 and... Wow, 24 right there. Another great spot is in the South Lanayru sky, right by Valor Island, where you get some of the glide gear. Let's see how many we've got up here. We even have fairies over here. That's nice. Saying go up. We have a device already built right here to send us up. This thing will act like an elevator. Now it's saying to go down. Alright, we have one there. So... 8 there? Yeah. There's 30. 2 spots. Now, if you still are short... The fast and easy things to do are just go to shrines. Like, I know that there's like 5-ish on Courage Island, 5-ish on Valor Island, and then again on Bravery Island right there. Those 3 usually have some, and then just keep accessing every home point you have up in the sky. And then if that's not enough, one thing also to consider is every abandoned mine generally has a few laying around as well, believe it or not. So the depths is actually a viable way to go on this. So go hit those up. Now, in the Breath of the Wild days, the best place to get sneaky river snails was the bath area in Zora's Domain, and that's immediately where I went first. And they're not there anymore, but the sensor was hitting, and it turns out they're not far away these days. You want to fall down this waterfall and go in this cave. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between that cave and the lake from earlier, you're going to be somewhere around 5 short. And I noticed these when I was making all of my Lionel related content at Rabia Plain. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5. So you are covered on Sneaky River Snail at 3 locations. That's the worst one that I've found. We had to go to 3 places to get that one done. Beware of the Silver Lionel roaming somewhere in there. But I use this shrine, and then I use a send on the wall right here, and then just go up there, and you shouldn't hit the Lionel going that way. We've already been here before at the lake, I'm back because I don't want Silent Princess to be lost in the clutter. But it's right by all the blue Nightshades that we just got earlier. That was 10 right there. And then, worst case, if you're short, there's a few more on the top of the mountain right here. So that's 2 more. 3, 4. So 14 out of 15 in this general vicinity. And then, if you remember, on East Hill, there was a couple there. So that should be 15 total. And please don't comment below that I forgot about a certain place that you know that I know about. I deliberately left that out because spoilers. My Silent Princess thing's going off again at this Great Fairy. So there's more that way. And we are doing our final upgrade. This is nice that we have a pretty reasonable set after a couple of doozies that I've just done. This was one of the easier videos to make, and we're gonna have bonus content. If you might remember, I told you to go break an Eightfold Blade. I'm gonna show you why this set is a lot of fun and how to really take advantage of it. I'm below Lorellan, and let's see if we can find one. There's several ghost soldiers down here that should spawn an Eightfold Blade in the pristine condition. Now, unlike the Lionel video where I did the save reset to try to get a really good one, I'm not going to do that here because I'm going to end up taking these to the Octorok when they start flashing red to repair them so that I don't have to waste more silver Lionel horns. So whatever I get as the mod, that's just kind of what I'm going to roll with here. I'm not going to obsess over them being plus 10. Oh man, that's a really good sword. I'm grabbing it even though it's not what I'm looking for. Oh, would you look at that? When you see it, take a picture of it so it's easier to find. I found this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a little sword icon. And I got an attack plus 6 Eightfold Blade. Now I'm just going to do a quick lap. Oh look, my sensor's already going off. Here's another one right here. So there's 2. There's a lot of ghost soldiers in this general area, and most of them have the possibility of having an Eightfold Blade. So I'm just going to mark this one too. But Lorellan's the way to go to grab them. And then... oh look, that one's 8. So, alright, so let's do 23. This one's 23 damage, and then... you know what I'm about to do. Let's fuse that on it. So now we have a 78 damage weapon, and this is why I'm going to take it to the Octorok when it gets flashing red, because I don't want to waste Lionel horns like that. So, we don't care about bone proficiency because this stealth set. We do need to cook a little bit. And, oh, Puff Shroom. That's convenient. Because that's going to be one of our favorite things to do with this. We got a bunch of Mighty Carp from the Stealthfin Trout process, so I'm going to cook these up into some dishes. And I'm going to go here to demonstrate, because I know that there's a couple white moblins nearby, and they're the perfect ones to show what this can do. So the reason why the Eightfold Blade is really good is it doubles your sneak strike damage, which is already a ×8 multiplier, and that makes this a ×16. So it's 78 damage. Let's see. Let me do a little head math real quick. 1248 damage, I think. Oh, confirm that with a calculator later. I'm gonna say 1248, I think. So we've got a sleeping white mob. Oh gosh, I blew it. Alright, let's just throw down the puffer then. Puff Shroom. Since I botched the approach. And I'm gonna sneak strike it. Instant kill on a white moblin. So let's see what this does against a boss bokoblin. I think there's one right here. Oh yeah, that one shot's a boss bokoblin. That's pretty tight. So this is fun. The puff shrooms, really good. Let's mess around with muddle buds, see what those do. Can I sneak strike with that? I know it's kind of, it's like betraying. I don't see the sneak strike thing coming up on that. So muddle buds, no. Let's throw a dazzle fruit. Can I sneak strike on that? No. Alright, so the only thing that works mid-fight is Puff Shroom, but that's all we need. And you could always attach one of those to a Forest Dweller weapon and get like infinite uses out of it. But yeah, this is really cool, and in addition to being really powerful, this is also great for just running around and not getting bothered by a lot of things. And then you get the nighttime speed up too. The only knock is you get 16 defense per item instead of 20. But that's not a big deal because the whole point of this is to try to not get hit. But as you can see, things happen and I'm still taking damage in this fight. So that's why 4-starring this can be so useful. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you visiting the channel and I hope to see you again soon, my friends.